Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 4 Reasons review, where I give you 4 reasons to buy and 4 reasons to skip a game, all based on my own real gameplay. Today, we're going to be covering Death Stranding 2. Death Stranding 2 is a third-person action-adventure game set in an absolutely stunning open world. You play as Sam Porter in a world infected with the Death Stranding, and your goal is to unite two continents by bringing them back online. But let's get right into it, starting with 4 reasons to buy Death Stranding 2. Reason number 1 is that the world and the graphics are gorgeous. This game is probably the most stunning game I have ever played in my entire life. I am not kidding. The graphics are top notch, and this world has so many different settings that blend so well together throughout the entire world. This game is seriously a movie, and the entire environment looks amazing. I'm so impressed that a world this big can have no bugs and have insane graphics. Without a doubt, the best looking game this year and probably ever, in my own opinion. You have, when you're driving at night and the stars come out, you feel like you're on cloud nine and you look up. It looks so real and surreal at the same exact time. So, reason number 1, the world and the graphics are gorgeous. Reason number 2 to buy Death Stranding 2 is that the story is awesome. It's a very narrative driven story, but they nailed it. I was locked into every moment, and all the side characters have so much depth that make you want to connect with them. The story has so many twists and unique turns. For example, at one moment you'll be walking on a bridge delivering your package, and then a ninja with an electric guitar as a weapon will start attacking you, then disappear. There's so many different wacky elements that also work super well that tie into a very serious story. So there's, spoiler alert, there's one piece of combat you can learn with pizza dough where you're flipping people like pizza dough, but it's still a very serious and awesome story. I would definitely buy this game if you love good stories in video games. Reason number 3 to buy Death Stranding 2 is that they updated the combat and the weapon variety from Death Stranding 1. So the original Death Stranding did not have impressive combat, and there was not that much depth either. But Death Stranding 2 has a lot more options in terms of weapons and more playstyles. You can go heavy melee combat with a ton of fun weapons like electric combat gloves, the electric guitar that I was referencing, axes, but a bunch of different melee weapons. You can go stealth, or you can just rain fire with machine guns and different explosives. And I really want to highlight that melee combat because it was so fun, and that's what I ended up using the most probably, and you can find such unique skills by helping others. Reason number 4 to buy Death Stranding 2 is that the ability to build real infrastructure throughout the world is so cool and satisfying. In this game, you can literally build an entire travel infrastructure system. Roads, bridges, and monorails, just think of a train system, can be built around the whole map and on the outside, and then also delicately on the inside. It is so cool towards the end of the game when you have a full operational ecosystem of resource transportation that makes life so easy. It makes you feel powerful and like nothing is too difficult in the game because of this infrastructure that you've built up. Now, there are 4 reasons to skip this game. Reason number 1 being that the gameplay is repetitive. So while the gameplay is fun, it gets repetitive very quickly, especially with how big this game is. You can easily dump 100 hours into it. And the quantity is high between the different weapons and melee options, but they all kind of play the same. Like all the guns kind of play the same, maybe different ammo types, but there's no real difference. Melee options, while they're all a ton of fun and they do offer variety, there's just not much depth to them. The game does not encourage replayability. I wish there was more than just delivering packages as the main mission, and this can get old and you will spend some hours just driving and delivering packages like an Amazon driver. But reason number 2 to skip Death Stranding 2 is the lack of customization. So for being such a big and expensive game and beautiful game, I wish there was more customization. There's not nearly enough options for clothing, weapons, vehicles. You basically just kind of pick a new color. So you go from red camo to blue. That's really all you can do. There's some different types and some cool hats and glasses, but it's very small. And all you can really do is change the primary and secondary color of things, except for guns. There is very little customization for such a beautiful game. I wish they included more. Reason number 3 to skip is that the world can feel empty at times. This is a massive and beautiful world at every single turn, but there's some pretty major parts of the map that feel empty. Excuse me. There's some rocks and some trees, and all that does is make it harder to navigate, which is a consistent theme in this game, but there's really not much going on. There's no animals, no enemies. Some parts of the world are just not fun, and this game can be painstakingly slow. Now, reason number 4 to skip Death Stranding 2 is that the game's easy. Honestly, it's almost a little too easy. And so if you're looking for, just a pure story-driven game, that's good for you. But if you're looking for complex combat, this is not for you. And if you're looking for a challenge, it's difficult to traverse at times, but the enemies are so easy. That was a big gripe of mine with Death Stranding 2. But let me know your thoughts about Death Stranding 2. It's an awesome game. It's probably going to be a Game of the Year contender, but let me know. Do you think Death Stranding 2 is going to be a Game of the Year contender? What are your thoughts on the game so far? But this is Mitchables' 4 Reasons review of Death Stranding 2, and thanks for watching.